Good morning, everyone. So, in yesterday, we have seen that modification of leaves and root types. Yesterday, we have seen modification of leaves, how leaves are modified, and what about their different functions. And we have seen what are the two types of root system. Today, we are going to discuss about two topics. One is relationship between venation and root types. The second one is modification of roots. See, like stems are also modified. Some stems are modified into modified as underground stems, like ginger, isn't it? And another, you can say potato is also a stem, and some leaves are modified. When leaves tendrils are there, insectivorous leaves are there, isn't it? So like that, roots are also modified. That also we are going to discuss today. The first we will see relationship between venation and root types. So before getting into that, I have a question. How do we know which plant has which type of roots? So we usually roots are present below the surface of the soil. That is a quite common scenario. But in some cases, some roots are aerial. That is, they are present in the atmosphere too. But how do we say? But most of the roots are underground. So how we can say which type of roots are present in this plant without seeing the root? Whether we can say, how do we know which plant has which type of roots? The answer for that question is based on the venation, we can say. So there is a relationship between venation and root types. First of all, we know what is venation. We have seen while studying leaves, we have seen parts of leaves and all, isn't it? Just recall yourself. What is venation? The arrangement of veins and veinlets on the leaves are called as venation. If you take a leaf, if you see a leaf, inside the leaf there are small veins, small lines are running here and there. They are called what? Veins. From the veins we can also see some more tiny branches also. They are veinlets. So these arrangement of veins, how the veins are arranged, that arrangement of veins and veinlets are called as venation. And venation, we have seen two types of venation. Have you remember? Parallel venation, reticulate venation. Parallel venation means just opposite to each other, and reticulate means they will be in a mesh, and small branches, veinlets are also seen, isn't it? So based on the venation, we can say, without seeing the root, we can say which type of root it is. Okay, the first one is, if the venation is parallel, the root type is fibrous root. If the venation is a parallel venation, definitely the root type must be fibrous in nature. Okay, for example, here I have chosen a coconut tree. So the first one, coconut tree. So we know, first you check the venation. If you take a coconut, leaves are very big in size, so we can easily see the veins. How the veins are arranged? They are parallel to each other. Whether do you find any branches of veins? No. So this type of venation is what venation? Parallel venation. I told, if the venation is parallel, what is the type of the root? It is fibrous. So here so many lateral roots are there, but no main root is found. So if the venation is parallel venation, definitely the root type might be and must be a fibrous roots. Okay, the second one, if the venation is reticulate, the root type is a taproot. Here they have chosen a carrot. If you see the veins, see veins, how you can see the leaves only, isn't it? If you see the leaves very carefully, you can find a reticulate vein. Reticulate means one branch, from the branch small branches will be found, isn't it? And if this type of veins are present, definitely the root might be a taproot. See, this is the main root. Here the carrot is a root part only we are eating, and it also stores food. Okay, from the root you can find in some carrot you may find the side roots also. Have you ever purchased a carrot with your mother? Have you ever seen the carrot in the markets? You can find some side roots also. They are the lateral roots. Okay, so if the venation is a reticulate venation, definitely the root is a taproot. So you can so you can remember this very easily. Parallel venation, fibrous root, reticulate venation, taproot. So there is a connection, there is a relationship between venation and type of root. So without seeing the root, with the help of the leaves, we can say which type of root that plant is going to have. Okay. The next topic what we are going to see is modifications. What modification? Root modification. Okay, so to perform specialized functions other than water and mineral absorption. So we generally know that the typical functioning of root is what? Water and mineral absorption, isn't it? The water is absorbed, the water from the soil, and minerals. Soil contains so much of minerals. The minerals are rich in soil. Both contents are very much needed for the plant, and those substances are absorbed by the roots and transported to all parts of the plant with the help through the stem, isn't it? So the main functioning of the root is what? Absorption of especially water and minerals. Other than that, the roots also doing some other functions with the help of the modification of root. What are the function? They also act as a food storage, like stems, like leaves. Roots are also what they are doing? They store food, and they also perform respiration process. What do you mean by respiration process? The exchange of gases, isn't it? Usually we know that plants, the leaves contain a part called stomata. With the help of the stomata only gaseous exchange takes place. So most of the gaseous exchange takes place by the leaves. Along with that, there are some roots which also do respiration, and it also gives support to the plant. Like stem, it also provides support. So these are the three other functions which are performed by the modification of roots. For example, in case of potato is a which part? It's a stem part, isn't it? And the swollen stem, that is, the potato is a swollen stem. Similarly, roots are also having swollen roots. The best example we can say carrot, isn't it? Like, if you see the picture of carrot, the top of the part, it is somewhat bulge in nature, while the end is somewhat linear, isn't it or not? So the swollen roots are maybe found. Okay, so in detail we will see. First one, food storage. The first function is food storage. Now we are going to, in this food storage, we are going to choose a tap root. So swollen to store food. If you see the tap roots, for example, carrot, beetroot, turnip, radish, everything, they are all root vegetables. And what about the shape of this? They are somewhat swollen, big in size. Why? To store the food. If you choose the carrot, they are conical. See, the base is somewhat what? Broad in size, and the tip, the bottom is somewhat what, mom? It has a taper apex, that is sharpened apex. So it looks like a cone, isn't it or not? So it comes under conical. So the best example is we can found this conical shape in carrot. They are having broad base and taper apex. The second one, if you choose the radish, it is a fusiform shape. What do you mean by fusiform? Fusiform means swollen part in the middle and both ends are taper. They are swollen only in the middle and the both ends of these are taper. So they are called as fusiform. If you take a turnip, they are spherical on top and they have a taper bottom. They are called as napiform. They are called what? Napiform. So these are the three different types of taproots. One is conical, fusiform and napiform. What they will do, all the three perform what? They store the food. Where they will store? In their swollen part. These are the swollen part. Okay. So carrot comes under conical, radish comes under fusiform, and turnip comes under napiform structure. Okay, so roots also modified into these three shapes and they perform what function? Food storage. The second one is respiration. I told that leaves, most of the leaves respire by themselves with the help of stomata. Along with that, there are some roots which can able to respire. For example, what is respiration, ma? Exchange of gases. If you take a marshy area, marshy means somewhat wet land with a lot of mud and water, that is called marshy land. Okay, if you choose a marshy land, plants grow in such area, plants grow in such area, what it will do? See, they are growing in water, so there is less availability of what? Oxygen. Okay, so why? Because inside the soil, the space where the oxygen is present, no, that is all occupied by the water. See, the roots are growing under the soil. If there is lot of water, there is no need, there is only less amount of oxygen, only they can able to respire, isn't it? So they are having a specialized structures. The roots develop from the roots, what they will do? They will develop their structure as a specialized structure. They are called pneumotrophs. They are called what? Pneumotrophs. They act as the respiratory organ. They act as what? Respiratory organ. Here the roots are modified into pneumotrophs. Pneumatotropes, and they are nothing but the respiratory organs, and they are also called as breathing roots. Pneumatophores are also called what? Breathing roots. So they grow vertically upwards. See, a lot water is here. You can see the picture. See, it's a marshy land with full of water and mud. Okay, so the trees or any plants growing in this area can't get enough oxygen because it is mostly occupied by the water. So what they will do, the roots develop pneumatophores. Here you can able to see small sticks and all, isn't it? They are nothing but developed roots. They are modified roots and they are called pneumatophores. So how they will get the oxygen from the atmosphere? So they grows vertically upwards towards the surface of towards the atmosphere, it will start to grow. So the breathing roots, pneumatophores are nothing but breathing roots, rise vertically upwards. So the exchange of gases takes place through these lenticles. So the exchange of gases takes place with the help of these lenticles. Lenticles means what? Tiny pores, scales found on these pneumatophores are called lenticles. Okay, so the roots also respire. The best example is mangrove trees. If you find any mangrove, if you ever gone to the, I don't know whether how many of you visited the mangrove forest, you can see the roots are found above the surface of the water because they can't get enough oxygen, so they grow upwards, vertically upwards, and they respire with the help of these roots. Those roots are called breathing roots, otherwise called pneumatophores. Okay, so pneumatophores and breathing roots are called as respiratory organs. The next thing is support. Roots adds, one of the other function is it gives support. For example, it provides, if you take a banyan tree, you can found. You people have seen banyan trees, so many roots you have found on the trees, isn't it? So it provides mechanical support to the plant. It provides what? Mechanical support. So root in huge trees, there are big size of trees, are modified to provide additional support. Even though the main root is very thick and strong, some additional support is needed for that huge plant. So what? The additional roots will also be found. Normally the basic anchorage is given to the trees by the roots, but sometimes trees become so huge that having just the one root is not enough. So even though it is much thick, some additional support is needed. One such modification of root is called prop root. They are called what root? Prop roots. Prop roots are nothing but additional roots which give support to that plant. So where does this prop root originate? They originate from the aerial branches. See, this is the stem and these are the branches of the trees. They are quite bigger in size, isn't it? From these branches, some roots will be formed and it grows towards the soil. So those roots are called as prop roots. So where does these prop roots originate? They originate from the aerial branches. Aerial means what? The branches which are in relation with atmosphere, they are aerial branches. So from these aerial branches, which roots develop? Prop roots, and it grows downwards. It grows downwards into a pillar like woody roots. So these provides additional support to this main stem and the root. The best example is banyan tree, isn't it? The tree keeps growing from the aerial branches. Roots will originate and grows in the downward direction. So that root, prop roots, go below the soil and becomes the root. So the presence of these additional roots provide additional support to the plant. If you visit any botanical garden, you might find number of banyan trees with more number of prop roots. With even though 100 to 150 years grown trees may also be noticed. Okay.